Every week, Squibb brings you Hollywood's finest. The great picture plays, the great actors and actresses, techniques and skills chosen from the honor roll of those who have won or been nominated for the famous Golden Oscar of the Academy of Motion Picture Arts and Science. And now, E.R. Squibb & Sons, manufacturing chemist of the medical profession since 1858, bring you the distinguished actress Irene Dunne, who has 4 times been nominated for the Academy Award as Best Actress of the Year. You will hear her tonight starring in The White Cliffs of Dover with Sir Aubrey Smith. Both Miss Dunne and Sir Aubrey Smith will play the roles they created on screen in this dramatic picture, which, for Best Photography of the Year, was nominated for the 1944 Academy Award.